Welcome to Chit-Chat with Autumn, and I am your host, Autumn Short. And today, very exciting show. I have a special guest with us, Susanna Paliotta, and you may have seen her. She does pageants, but she recently has been on the reality TV show Game of Crowns. And so we're going to talk with her a little bit today about her experience and a couple of things that she's involved with, and I have to say I am really excited to talk about the clothing that she designs because it's absolutely amazing. So please welcome my guest, Susanna. Hi, Susanna. How are you? Oh, hold on. I think you're muted. Hold on one second. This is what happens when you get going on live. I mean, of course, it has to be something, right? Okay. Do you see the mute button on your side of the... See if you can hit that and if we can hear you then. Oh, wait, hold on, let me see. Okay, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, now I hear you. All right, hi there. Thank
Hi.
you for joining me today.
You're welcome.
I am really excited to talk to you because this year you were Mrs. Rhode Island, United States, correct?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
Still am until November.
That's right, you are, yes. And you competed in the Mrs. United States pageant that took place in July, and they streamed that live, and while they were streaming it on the internet, the MC announced that you had designed all of your clothes for that pageant. And watching your swimsuit, your evening gown, and everything, I was in awe over your designs.
Thank
you. And he said the name Bound by the Crown. So tell me a little bit about what Bound by the Crown is and about your designs.
Well, Bound by the Crown is an amazing clothing collection for women who really like, that old world vibe. So we try to stick with silk dupignanis, really nice, fabrics, business suits that fit, couture, a lot of bling. But we also we also do a mommy and me collection, which is one of the reasons why I got into it. So we basically miniaturized all the business suits. It's just an amazing collection. I have the top designer. Her name is Tony Lynn Spaziano, and her and I make this collection. We showed at New York Fashion Week in February, and now we're showing in 2 weeks, and I'm so excited about it. Really, it's a beautiful collection.
It is too. I've been on the website Bound by the Crown, and you have the evening gowns for mommy and daughter. And in 2013, my daughter and I actually did a pageant together. She's 12, and I thought, how fun would that have been to actually been able to dress alike for that pageant? As a mother-daughter duo doing that competition. And I just have to say, I absolutely love the design. So have you always been a designer? Have you always come up with your own creations for?
Well, I've always had a passion for design and fashion, and again, my business partner too. She was a perfect mix. What I really love is the Jackie Kennedy era, where a woman really, appeared confident and secure, and her clothing spoke for herself. I really feel like that's an important part of pageantry, is like a lot of times we don't get a lot of time to talk to the judges, so our clothes really have to speak to the judges. And, for me, everything that I wore at the Mrs. United States pageant was trying to tell a story. So.
Now, Bound by the Crown, if you go to the website, you will see that also parts of the proceeds go to a organization. Can you tell us a little bit about that organization and how exactly Bound by the Crown was found?
Chances Are Designs and Bound by the Crown merged about a year ago. And basically before that, there is this little boy named Chance, and he is just the most amazing boy. He was adopted. He had, I think, 3 months to live. He's a little person, and everything that he does is a miracle every day. And so what we wanted to do is give kids hope that, it was kind of like granting a last wish, but he has beat the odds. He has defied everything. He is now 13 years old. So Chance is our hero, and the proceeds go to that charity for Chances Are Designs. It's amazing. It's amazing to be able to do good from having fun in fashion and pageantry. And, you know, I have 2 other platforms that I'm very deeply involved in as well.
So let's go ahead and talk about those platforms, because one of them is anti-bullying, and you have a daughter who was bullied. So let's talk a little bit about what happened and what did you do to
Well,
when you found out she was being bullied?
I'm in my early 40s. My daughter now is 21. I was a young mom. I was 22 when I had my first daughter. And so growing up, I was really raising myself while I was still raising my first daughter. And we have this amazing bond because of it. She was a senior in high school, and you know, I was pregnant with my second child. They're 14 years apart, by the way. So a little bit of a difference. But she didn't want to bother me. She was being severely bullied by a childhood friend, someone who had slept at our house growing up, someone who was very close with us, someone who we considered, you know, you'd say that school chum that you grew up with. I mean, that's how close they were. And their friendship had fallen apart. And so one day, she was leaving school, and I guess the bullying had gotten out of control. There was 3 girls in the car, and they ran Victoria's car kind of off to the side of the road. They were playing cat and mouse with her. So she got out of the car and she said, you know, please leave me alone. I don't want to be involved in, you know, just, you know, let's just not be friends anymore. And they proceeded to beat her and leave her for dead on the side of the road in our hometown, which was about a mile from our house and a mile and a half from the school. And she woke up, she got in a car, she drove to my mom's, and I got the call at my house, at my work, to report to the trauma unit at Hasbro's Children's Hospital. And when I got there, I think the first thing that I remember was seeing a police officer in front of the trauma room door, and he had a camera in his hand. And I'm thinking in my head, you know, how bad can this be that that they have to be taking photos? And Victoria's nose was broken in 4 places. Her orbit was pushed in. But I think what was most horrific for me was that Victoria has scoliosis, and only a few people knew that, including this girl. And she had kick marks all up and down her back on her white T-shirt, and they had kicked her in her back about 4 or 5 times. So she underwent reconstructive and plastic surgery to fix what had happened, and it was a tough, trying time for all of us. But we let Victoria be our guide because, you know, after all, there's no manual on how to deal with something this horrific that happens. And you know, the school wanted to just pass her, and she was like, "No, I want to graduate with my class," and she did. And then about 4 or 5 months after, you know, she suffered from body dysmorphic disorder, where basically what I see and what you see is not what she sees. And, you know, she was going to counseling, and they said, you know, maybe a pageant would be something that would help her, you know, overcome this. And she did her first pageant, and she won Miss Teen Perfect Face here in Rhode Island. And that was it for her. She was just really, I think it really helped her get over everything. But it was really tough to go through, not just for me, but for our whole family. So
That is absolutely, you would hate to receive a phone call like that saying that your child has been hurt so badly that they are in the hospital, and it's because of somebody who's been at your house. Was this because of jealousy? I mean, usually that's what it is. It's because the people who are the bullies
right.
feel threatened by the people that they are bullying. So was this just a case of jealousy between girls?
You know, I have to say, I think it was jealousy. Victoria was a straight A student. She's really athletic, and so she was following a different path, I think, than, you know, when you're friends from a young age, you know, you start to develop your personalities, and sometimes your lives take different paths. You know, definitely boys become involved, and I think at the end of the day, though, you know, Autumn, there's no excuse for physical violence, but then to leave someone that injured on the side of the road really, to me, speaks to your character. I mean, if kids get in fights, I think that's awful. But if someone is literally coughing up blood and not and basically passed out, how do you get in your car and drive away? I think that was the hardest part for me to get over.
That is, so were there charges? I mean, this is just something that's
Right.
horrifying to hear. So were there charges that were filed, and were these girls?
Well, I mean, you know, it's a first-time offense. These children are young, so they, you know, there was an arrest and then community service, which, to be honest with you, is a pretty good punishment, because sometimes these things are very gray area, as I learned being involved in what exactly happened. And you know, you have the right to obviously sue for monetary damages, but where is that going? You're suing a child, in essence. You're suing an 18-year-old child. I mean, is that going to help? And most people are like, oh my God, you must have wanted to kill her. You know, you must have been. Your first reaction is that I have to save my daughter. I can't think about anything else. And you know, Victoria had no idea when I walked into the trauma room what had happened. She had no idea how bad it was. So her first reaction to me is, Mom, I look okay, right? Like I'm okay, right? I'm going to be okay. And I'm looking at her and I'm thinking, oh my God, like what, you know, it's like a defining moment as a mother. Like, what do you say? And
Yes.
you know, I said, yes, it's going to be fine. And it was, but it was a long road. And so learning from that, and Victoria tells the story in a way where I don't think there can ever be a dry eye in the room, because the emotion that a child goes through when they're bullied, it's not just that day, it's the days and weeks and months leading up to that day. She said almost like it was a release that she wasn't bullied anymore, and that's a really hard thing to hear, that, you know, physical violence was better than what she went through leading up to that.
That is completely, that's sad to hear. And how, I would love to talk to your daughter and hear her story from a firsthand experience of what it was like. What a platform that she has to speak to other children about, because bullying is out there, it's real, and it just seems to keep getting worse and worse.
It is. It really is. And hurtful things, I mean, even at my age, you know, I think people forget that hurtful things are hurtful things. And, you know, I mean, you know, you really just have to be mindful of what you say. You really do, because it's not worth it. Life is way too short to have these type of problems. It really is.
Well, now that we're talking about this, you do have another platform, though, that is a wish come true. So that seems like it's a little bit more on a happier side. So tell me a little bit about a wish come true, what that is, and how you got involved with that.
A wish come true is just so dear to my heart, because for 11 years, I owned one of the biggest pet boutiques in the country. It was called Park Avenue Puppies, and I was approached by a wish come true to grant a wish to a child. She wanted a puppy, and we used to do pet fashion shows, and she wanted to be in that. And this small thing that I could do, I got to see what it meant to someone else. It was just amazing, and that's how I initially got involved with a wish come true. And then it's just been a joy to be involved with them, and just to see wishes continuing to be granted to these kids. It's just amazing.
How fun is that? That would be something to see a smile, bring a smile to a child's face.
Oh my God.
Very exciting.
It is. And when my younger daughter, who is also a pageant, kind of a pageant star, she's done very well in the pageant. She's done better than me. She's gone all the way to the top. We've visited the hospitals, and she's gotten to meet with the kids and, you know, give the teddy bears. And I mean, it's such a great thing to share with your whole entire family when you can go out and do something good. Yeah, I was telling my daughter, if you think you're having a bad day, just remember, you know, what it could be. So
I love it that you have your daughter involved with that, because what they learn from us, and what an example you're setting for her by having her involved. So kudos to you for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
I also want to talk to you about your reality TV. Right now, Game of Crowns is showing on Bravo, and it's definitely entertaining, I will say. But this isn't your first role with reality TV. You have been involved with reality TV before, so tell us a little bit about the reality TV that you've been involved with.
Well, I've been involved with reality TV for almost 15 years. I was on it was on TLC's While You Were Out. This was going back. We were the first company that they ever built a pet cafe for. They came in and designed us a pet cafe. But I've been on Discovery Channel, Women Pharaohs of Egypt. I've been, oh my God, I've been on Dr. Oz's show. I've just been on everything you could think of, and it's really funny because people always ask me, is it real? And I always say, listen, at the end of the year when I do my taxes, I check off actress. So if that helps you understand what reality TV is, a little.
So is this something, is the reality TV, is this something that you will continue? And your daughter also has a part in Game of Crowns. Is this something that she wants to do as well?
I think so. I think, there's two things that people, there's a very big pro and there's a very big con. I mean, I got involved in reality TV to supplement my income 15 years ago. So, I got involved with it from a business standpoint. But now I just really, it's fun and it's exciting, and we get to travel a lot and do a lot of things that we normally wouldn't do. The only downfall is that a lot of times once you cross over and you do reality TV, you actually become a public figure. And once you become a public figure, there's no going back, Autumn. So if you decide to do reality TV, know that you can never go back to being a private citizen. So that's why I think you continue to see a lot of the same faces in TV and commercial and this type of industry, is because once you cross over, you can never go back.
It just seems, to sit down, as many problems as people have in their lives today, to sit down and to watch what we think are other people's problems or issues or things like that, it's almost for a minute, we forget about our own problems and issues. And I think that's why people are always so intrigued with reality TV, because they feel, oh, well, at least I don't have this going on in my life, or at least I don't have to worry about that. So I will say I am a big fan of reality TV. I'll admit it. Anytime there's a reality show that's going to come on, I'm going to be one of the first ones to watch it. And DVR it. I will say that's totally me.
Yeah, it's so fun, and you're absolutely right. It's mindful television. It's a way for you to escape your day, or for us when the kids go to bed, it's the end of the day. I'm a Bravo fanatic even before I ended up on the show. So with that being said, I think it's fun, and again, like I said, you only live once, and in the world today, with a lot going, just losing Robin Williams today, you really just have to remember what is important and what isn't important.
Exactly. So, future projects. Do you have any future projects coming up? Are you going to be focusing now more on your designs, or can you share any of that with us? What's coming up for you?
Oh my God. Well, we have a lot of things coming up. The things I can share is definitely more designs. I mean, this is something I'm passionate about. More Mommy and Me collections. So please check us out, because if you're looking for even something for you and your daughter to really connect with and have a personal experience with clothing, we've made everything. I can't wait for you guys to see it. Yeah, there's definitely, some more reality in my future, so you'll have to stay tuned for that. And I think one of my daughters as well, there's something coming up too.
Oh, I'm so excited to stay and to watch, and how fun is this? And I will say too, I want to say thank you for the designs that you've made and making them reasonably priced, because that's something that when you get into nice fashion, fun fashion, things like that, sometimes it becomes so expensive, and especially with a growing child, that she'll probably only wear it for that season. So I want to say thank you, because the designs are actually so well priced, and that is huge, especially as a mother, you know, and with a child that, like I said, will only wear these clothes for a short amount of time.
Right.
That I think it's well worth the money spent. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I am excited to see what you have coming up and what you have in store. I'm definitely going to stay tuned. You have me hooked on Game of Crowns and everything that goes on there. So I will definitely, you'll be somebody I will be watching for sure.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate that, and I just think it's been a wonderful journey, and I'm so happy to have met you and do the show today.
Well, thank you so much, Susanna, for being a guest on the show today. And like I said, we will definitely, sorry, I'm being attacked by a fly here today. So we will definitely, I'm definitely going to stay in contact with you. You're a lovely person, and you speak so well, and you have so many wonderful things going on. So thank you again for being a guest, and I look forward to talking with you soon.
Thank you, Autumn. We appreciate it.
All right. Thank you all for viewing today, and we will see you on our next Chit Chat with Autumn.